Dear subscribers and guests of the channel, you probably all heard about the new correspondent on a virus that was seriously scared by a large number of people, so let's figure out what it is. This and the main thing is how they don't get sick. The message about cases of infection with a dangerous coronavirus comes from all over the world, including from Europe, the USA and Australia only. In China more than 8,000 people are already sick and more than 170 of them died. The World Health Organization has already called the coronavirus medical emergency. China's epidemics are critical in its efforts to stop its authorities shutting down more than 10 cities with a total population of over 25 million people. 25 Chinese provinces with more than 1 billion people introduced the highest level of emergency response. What is coronavirus and carnaviruses? These are members of a whole family of viruses that can cause respiratory and intestinal diseases in humans and animals. How much the name coronavirus and got because of the specific shape of the shell and protein structures under the microscope resembles the solar corona with these viruses. Science, familiar since the 60s of the last century. Most of them are completely safe. They cause a common cold that is easily tolerated and quickly treated by the simplest methods of rest with heavy drinking and over-the-counter, most drugs. But not all. Some coronaviruses present serious complications, for example, the infamous SARS, he is a torso, severe acute respiratory syndrome, which raged in Asia and particularly in China in 2002-2003. SARS not only affected the upper respiratory tract but also extremely quickly and destroyed the pulmonary alveoli, vesicles in the hatch which, when inhaled, are filled with air and transmit oxygen to the blood. A person died from rapidly developing oxygen starvation of organs and tissues. In total, over 8,000 diseased were registered. Approximately 1 out of 10 died in your history with SARS. In 2004, an outbreak of the disease was suppressed. Since then atypical attention did not make itself felt, but scientists already discovered what the main danger was then. Carnoviruses. And so why is coronavirus dangerous? And, first of all, because of its high mutagenicity, which means that the coronavirus can quickly change, adapting to the external environment in order to ensure the transfer from the carrier to the new victim. For example, the same variety is supposed to initially spread among bats but at some point mutates and attacks human immunity that has not yet encountered a similar infection was completely powerless. In fact, scientists attribute the outbreak of SARS to the fact that the new coronavirus has changed, but this does not mean that the source has disappeared. It may continue to dose in the body of animals to once again mutate and remind humanity of themselves. Coronavirus outbreak, of which began in late December 2019 in the Chinese city of Wuhan, was also most likely unexpectedly presented to people by animals. This is a completely new. Doctors have not yet encountered the strain, but it is already known that it affects the lungs as SRS, quickly cause viral pneumonia and deadly oxygen starvation of the body as a whole. What are the symptoms of coronavirus? The symptoms of infection with any coronavirus are the same as with any other virus. They include pain or sore throat, cough and runny nose, headache, temperature 37.8, weakness, general feeling of ill health. Most severe cases when infections descends from the upper respiratory tract down, as happens with SARS. Symptoms intensified appears temperatures up to 39 degrees strong +1 cough and shortness of breath, breathing problems, tightness and chest pain. If these signs occur, immediately seek medical help. It's not necessary that you are diagnosed with coronavirus. It's possible that it's a warwick who joined the bacterial infection or pneumonia, but in any case this is a complication that requires mandatory medical supervision, and so again we will return the coronavirus in some cases to. At the very start, the infection makes itself felt by diarrhea, nausea or other problems with the digestive system and the respiratory symptoms of which I said a little earlier join. Later on, how to treat coronavirus. Any special therapy for coronavirus does not exist, as the vast majority of other viral infections of the coronavirus are treated. Only symptomatic rest, heavy drink, over-the-counter painkillers and anti-inflammatory drugs based on paracetamol and ibuprofen. Maybe one day a vaccine will be developed specifically for the new coronavirus, but World Health Organization warns that this may take several years. Therefore, the best thing you can do is to minimize the risk of infection. How can you not get sick with coronavirus? 2. Like you have a common cold and the common cold and coronavirus. In exactly the same way, you run the risk of getting sick when an infected person coughs or sneezes next to you, and also when you put your hand lip to nose after shaking hands or touching the surface on which a cell virus is with the same doorknobs or handrail in transport, so as not to get sick not only with coronavirus but also with other ARVs. Try as little as possible to be in closed spaces where there are a lot of people if you can do without visiting public transport meters. Crowded shopping centers and so on. Make food more often. Ventilate the room in which you spend the day. It will reduce the concentration of viruses in the air. Avoid contact with people who look cold. They have less contact with surrounding objects in public places. Wean yourself from the habit of getting your hands to face regular. Wash your hands thoroughly in warm water and soap for at least 15 seconds if there is no access to water and soap. Use alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Dress according to the weather. To freeze means to voluntarily lower your level of protection against infections, and he confronts you with viruses, including coronated by them. I'm sure that everything will be fine and you'll never be ill, but for this subscribe to the channel and click on the bell so as not to miss new issues with interesting and useful information for you. Successes, health and good luck in all your endeavors.